Hi, I'm Bonnie Barker with BonnieBayCrochet.com, and I wanted to welcome you to week number 8 of the Friends Around the World 3 2018 Crochet Along. For this week, we're going to be working the Arizona Winter Evening Square, and this is by Kristin Pretzer Hartt. And I just wanted to give you a picture of this. Now, she has used some variegated yarn that changes colors for her square. I'm going to, however, use a couple other colors to represent Arizona, which is a state that I love to visit. I'm going to be using 2 shades of brown for my color A and color B. Okay, for this, we're also still going to continue to use our size H or 8 or 5.00 millimeter crochet hook. And as always, I'm recommending that you have a yarn needle on hand to hide those loose threads and a pair of scissors. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Just as a friendly reminder, I highly recommend that you download a copy of the pattern, which is available for free. All you need to do is look down below in the description of this video, and you'll see all the links that you need. You'll have the link for the free pattern, as well as the link for the blog post so that you can follow along with many other people around the world. Okay, to begin, I'm going to use the lighter color brown as my color A, and the instructions are to chain 5 and then slip stitch into the first chain, creating a circle. So we start with our slip knot, and then we're going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then with the little slip knot into that first chain, slip stitch, and we've now completed well, I guess our starting circle. Okay, now we're going to chain 1, and we're going to work 12 single crochets into the circle. Okay, and as I do this, I'm also going to work over this loose thread, and that way it'll minimize at least one thread, hiding it at the end. So I'm going to go ahead and work 12 of these single crochets into the circle. Now that I've completed the 12, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to clip this thread so I don't have to deal with it later, and it makes for a nicer look. After that, I'm going to join with a slip stitch. Now notice this is the chain 1 we started with. Don't join there. We're going to join to the top of that first single crochet with a slip stitch, just like that. Now for round 2, we're going to do something a little different. I've honestly never done this before, so we're going to be doing something new together. We're going to work 16 long single crochets into the circle and then join with a slip stitch to the first long single crochet. So what we're going to do here, we're going to make a single crochet, but we're going to go into the center like this and bring it up to the row. We're going to do that 16 times. I'm just working over that last row. Whoops, don't want to loop it. So go ahead and do that until you have 16 long single crochets. After working those 16 long single crochets, we're going to join with a slip stitch to the first long single crochet of the round. And as you can see, you may have had to slide these around a little bit to try to get them all in. Now for round number 3, we're going to chain 1. Again, this does not count as a stitch in the row, and we're going to work 24 long single crochets, again going into the circle. So your strands should be getting longer as you go up. Okay, so we're going to do just the single crochet, the long single crochet 24 times. And notice that I am working over both the previous 2 rows in order to do this. After I've completed 24 of those long single crochets, we just join with a slip stitch to the first stitch of the round, and this is what you should have at the end of 3 rounds. It actually kind of reminds me of an Arizona sun now that I look at it. Okay, so now let's go ahead and look at round number 4. We're going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now this chain 5 counts as a double crochet and the chain 2. And the next instructions say to double crochet in the next 6 stitches. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start in the next stitch. So 6 double crochets. Okay, so that would be 4, 5, and 6. Okay, after we do that, we're going to chain 2 and repeat from the asterisk, which says to double crochet in the next 6 stitches. Okay, so I want you to see what I'm doing. I'm going to the next stitch and crochet that in the next 6 stitches. After we do that, we're going to repeat again, chain 2, and then double crochet in the next 6 stitches. Make sure we have the right number. Yes, we do. And then chain 2 again. And you should have 6 stitches remaining, since the stitch count was 24 of the round 3. Okay. Okay, that's good. We actually do 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because this chain 3 counts as one of the double crochets, making 6 double crochets. And let's see, join with a slip stitch to the 3rd chain of the beginning chain 5, which is right here. I'm going to join with a slip stitch, and then we're going to go ahead and fasten off, since we're going to begin using color B. Now if you're using just one solid color, which is also an option, then you don't need to do that. But I'm going to go ahead and fasten off, and this is what we should have at the end of 4 rounds. Now I want to give you just a mini tutorial on hiding these loose ends. I'm enjoying doing this as I go rather than having a bunch of them at the end. So let me just show you what I'm doing. I'm going to have the back side facing, and I'm just going to bring this down into the stitches that I've already stitched. And notice that, you know, these are much easier to hide when you're hiding it behind the color that is very common. So there's so much bulk here, which is very easy just to go ahead and hide this loose strand so that it will never be seen again. Okay, so I've gone ahead and done that, and I clip very carefully so that I don't cut my work, but I do want to make sure that tail is gone and hidden. Okay, so I've hidden that little loose strand, and you know, you feel free to do that however you like, but that's just something I like to do at the end of every round where possible. Now for round number 5, I'm going to use color B, which is the darker brown, or different shade at least. I'm going to go ahead and start with my slip knot, and then go ahead and do my chain 3, 1, 2, 3, which by the way does count as a double crochet. And then we're going to work another double crochet here, chain 2, and then 2 more double crochets in that corner space. And we do have a tail to deal with later. I'll just put that towards the back of my work, and we will hide that more effectively once we finish this round, or in the next few rounds. Okay, so after we've done this, the instructions say to back post treble crochet in the next 6 stitches. So with our back post treble crochet, we're going to wrap our hook twice. We're going to come around the back side, pull up a loop, yarn, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. We're going to do that 6 times. So let's make sure we wrap our hook twice. Okay, I'll go a little more slowly for those of you who maybe have never done a back post treble. We're going to wrap the hook twice like we're going to do a treble. We come in the back door, the hook goes around, and then comes out on the back side of that stitch, you're basically just wrapping your hook around that stitch, around the body, instead of going in through the top 2 loops. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. We're just completing it in the same way that we normally would. It's just where the hook places the stitch is slightly different. So we're going to do this 6 times. Okay, so you get this effect. Now when we come to the chain 2 corner, we're going to work what Kristin is calling her V-stitch, which is working into that chain 2. We're going to do 2 double crochets, chain 2, and 2 more double crochets. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and repeat that all the way around. Again, the 6 back post treble crochets all the way across, followed by this V stitch, which is 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets in the chain 2 corner. So go ahead and work that all the way around your square. At the end of round 5, we're going to join with a slip stitch to that first chain 3, and I'm going to fasten off because we're going to be changing back to our color A. So let me show you what you should have at the end of 5 rounds. And I'm going to go ahead and hide my loose strands before we begin round number 6. For round 6, we're going back to color A, and I'm going to go ahead and work my slip knot for my chain 3. Chain 3, and we're going to do again for the corner the V stitch, which in this case would be up to chain 3, a double crochet, chain 2, and then 2 more double crochets, and I am working over my loose thread here. Just makes it easier to hide later on. Okay, so now we're going to do something a little interesting. We're going to skip the first stitch, which sometimes is called the hidden stitch. We're going to double crochet in the next 2 stitches. Now we're going to work treble crochets working into round 4 stitches right here. So we're going to get that treble ready and just working in through that loop that's showing from round 4. We're going to go ahead and do 4 treble crochets. Okay, just like that. Now we're going to skip the stitches 1, 2, 3, 4 behind us, and now we're going to work double crochets in the next 2 stitches like this. We're going to skip the next stitch and then work a V stitch in that chain 2 space, which again double crochet 2 times, chain 2, and then 2 more double crochets for that V stitch. Okay, so we're going to do that all the way around. I'm going to do that with you one more time because that might have been a little tricky for some of you. I'm going to go ahead and skip this first stitch, which sometimes is called the hidden stitch. Double crochet in the next 2 stitches. Now we're going to work treble crochets working down below. We're going to work them in through that stitch on round 4, and it's really easy to see if you're changing colors like I am because it's going to be the same color that you're working with. And after you do that, make sure that you skip 4 stitches back here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the next stitch, work a double crochet, and then also a double crochet the next stitch. We're going to skip the next stitch, which is part of that corner V stitch, and then 2 double crochets in that corner, chain 2, and then 2 more double crochets. Let me show you what we have here. So go ahead and work this all the way around. This round ends by working a slip stitch to the top of that chain 3. And then we're going to fasten off because we're going to go ahead and change colors back to color B again. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that. And let's go ahead and take a look at our square after round number 6 is completed. So go ahead and hide those loose threads, and then we'll start the next round. Now to start round 7, we're using color B. I'm going to go ahead and get my slip knot ready. And we're going to work a chain 3. And I'm going to again work over this loose strand. We're going to work a double crochet, chain 2, and 2 more double crochets to form that first corner. Okay, now so after we do that, we're going to double crochet in the next 4 stitches, starting with that first stitch. No hidden stitch this time. After those 4 double crochets, chain 1. I almost forgot that the first time. Wrap the hook 2 times, and working back on round number 5, we're going to skip this stitch and work in the next stitch. Pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. You should have 2 loops on your hook at this point. Go ahead and wrap your hook 2 times, going to the next stitch, back on round 5, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. You should have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. Go ahead and give it a chain 1. And now we're going to skip, actually we're going to start working back on this round. We're going to skip 1, 2, 3, 4 stitches, and then we're going to start our double crochets. We're going to work 4 double crochets, 1 in each of the next stitches, which should take us to the corner. And at this point we would work another corner V-stitch, which would be the 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet. So go ahead and work this all the way around your square. At the end of round 7, we're going to join with a slip stitch to the top of that chain 3, and we're going to fasten off so we can start with color A for the next round. So go ahead and hide any loose strands you have, and we'll start the next round with color A. Okay, to begin round 8, we're going to be working with color A, and I'm going to join with a slip stitch, the chain 3. Now the instructions are a little bit different for these corners for round 8. We're going to work 4 double crochets into that same space. Now remember that this chain 3 does count as a double crochet. So for each corner that we do this round, we're going to have 5 stitches. Okay. Now after we do that, we are going to skip the hidden stitch, which would be this stitch here, and we're going to double crochet in each of the next 5 stitches. And since I finished actually crocheting over my loose thread, I'm going to go ahead and carefully cut that thread so I don't have to deal with it again. Okay, so after we do the chain 3, 4 double crochets in that corner, and then double crochet each of the next 5 stitches, then we're going to double crochet in that chain 1, double crochet in that treble 2 together, and then double crochet in that chain 1 space. Now we're going to double crochet in each of the next 6 stitches. If I can get the yarn to catch. That's 5. Let's double check. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Sorry about that. Now we're going to work 5 double crochets in this corner. That's 4 and 5. And that is pretty much your repeat across. I'll go ahead and do this with you again. We're going to skip the first hidden stitch. We're going to double crochet in the next 5 double crochets. Double crochet in that chain 1 space, double crochet in that treble 2 together, and then double crochet in the chain 1 space, and then double crochet in each of the next 6 stitches. Okay, after we do that, and of course we're going to repeat this again with the 5 double crochets in the corner. So let's go ahead and take a look what this round should be looking like. Okay, so go ahead and finish that all the way around your square. Round 8 ends with a slip stitch to the top of that chain 3, and we're going to keep the same yarn for the next round. So let's go ahead and just take a look at what you should have after 8 rounds. All right, well, let's go on into round number 9. And round number 9 has us chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and we're going to front post treble crochet around the next stitch, which is right here. Front post treble crochet, and then now we are told to 2 front post treble crochet around the next stitch. Okay, so we're going to use this stitch 2 times. Just insert around it 2 times, just like that. Okay, now we're going to front post treble crochet around the next stitch. Okay, like that. And now we're going to work double crochet in the next 16 stitches, and that's going to be our repeat. So go ahead and double crochet in the next 16 stitches. After working those 16 stitches across, that brings us to the next corner, or actually the 16th stitch should have been worked in the first stitch of the corner, and then we just repeat what we did at first. Treble, front post treble crochet in the next stitch. Then we're going to do 2 front post treble crochets around the next stitch, which should be the middle or the 3rd stitch of that corner, and then another front post treble around that next stitch. And now we're going to work 16 double crochets all the way across, and it should take us to the next corner. So we'll go ahead and work this all the way around your square. Let's take a look at what these repeats look like. Okay, so go ahead and work that all the way around. For the last repeat, you're only going to be working 15 double crochets because the first chain 3 actually counts as the 16th. So go ahead and join with a slip stitch to the top of that chain, and then after that we are going to fasten off and change to another color for the next round. So after 9 rounds, this is what you should have for your square. Alright, let's go on to round number 10. Now we're ready to begin round number 10, and we're going to start in the very first treble crochet of any corner. So I'm going to go ahead and pick this one, and I am using color B. So I'll go ahead and do my slip knot, chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Now this is beginning the repeat. Now remember, this chain 3 also acts as a double crochet. So for the repeat, that we're going to work around. We're going to chain 2, double crochet in the next stitch, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then double crochet in the next stitch, and then we're going to chain 2, 1, 2, and then we're going to double crochet in the next 18 stitches. So go ahead and work those 18 stitches. After completing those 18 stitches, we're going to go ahead and repeat from the asterisk again. So we go back, we're going to chain 2, double crochet in that next stitch, chain 3, double crochet in the next stitch, and then chain 2, and then we're going to work double crochets in the next 18 stitches all the way across the side. And so that is going to be your repeat. So let's take a look at what this should look like. Okay, so go ahead and work that all the way around. At the end of round 10, you should only have 17 of these double crochets on the last repeat, because this is actually serves as your 18th. So we're going to go ahead and slip stitch to the 3rd chain of that chain, and go ahead and fasten off, because we are going to be changing colors yet again. And make sure you leave a nice long strand, and go ahead and take the time to weave those ends in. Okay, so this is what we should have at the end of round number 10. In round 11, and we're going to start in any chain 2 before the corner. Okay, we're going to start with our slip knot, and then I'm going to go ahead and chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to work 2 more double crochets in that corner. Now we're going to do something very different, and I'm going to try to go as slowly as I can. We're going to skip the next double crochet, and we're going to skip the chain 3 corner. Now we're going to work something called a front post double treble. Don't let this scare you. What we're going to do, we're going to start by wrapping the hook, not 2 times, but 3 times. So we have wrap 1, 2, 3 times, and we're going to work, it's going to be a front post treble, and a front post double treble, and we're going to work this 3 times on the same post. Okay, so yarn over, pull up a loop. Now you should have 5 loops, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through 2. We'll do this 4 times. Yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over, pull through 2. I'm going to slide this down just a bit there. Now we're going to do this 2 more times on the same post. Whoops, let's go ahead and do that again. I only wrapped twice. We're going to wrap 3 times. Pull up a loop. Now we should have 5 loops on the hook. Yarn over, pull through 2. 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 Let's do that 1 more time. Wrap 3 times. Pull up a loop. We have 5 loops on our hook. Yarn over, pull through 2. Do that 4 times. That's 2, 3, and 4. Now we're going to go back to this double crochet that was skipped, and we're going to do 3 front post 3 front post double trebles, just like we did. So we're going to need to wrap that hook 3 times. I'm just so used to only wrapping it twice. So 3 times, and we're going to work that around the body of the stitch there. And we're going to do this 4 times, where you yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Do that 2 more times. Well, I did it again. Need to go 3 loops. I'm leaving these mistakes in like this so that you know you're not alone if you are still doing the same thing. So wrap the hook 3 times. I really have to think about this stitch and not go into autopilot. The muscle memory is not there for this stitch yet. Okay, so this is what we have. We've done the three front post trebles here, and then we went back and worked on that other double crochet. And so this is This is what's happening. This is going to kind of help you form a very interesting type of corner here. After that corner, we're going to work 3 double crochets in this chain 2 space. After that, we're going to work 1 double crochet in each of the next 18 stitches. After completing those 18 stitches across, we're going to work 3 double crochets in that next chain 2 space. And this is where we begin the repeat again of the corner. So I'm going to go ahead and repeat this corner with you one more time, just so there's no issues with this. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to skip this double crochet. We're going to skip the chain 3, and we're going to wrap our hook 3 times, because we're going to work 3 front post double trebles around this post. Remember the yarn over pull through 2, do that 4 times. Start with the wrapped hook of 3 wraps, yarn over pull up, and then yarn over pull through 2 4 times. Wrap the hook 3 times, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, do that 4 times. Now after we do that, we're going to go back to this double crochet that we skipped, and we're going to go over that with 3 front post double trebles. Make sure you get that 3rd wrap in. Okay, and so that will get you through your corner. After that, 3 double crochets in those chain 2 spaces, and then double crochet in each of the next 18 stitches, and that's going to be your repeat all the way across. Let's give you one more look at this. Alright, so go ahead and finish this round. At the end of round 11, we're going to join with a slip stitch to the top of that chain 3, and we're going to continue using the same color for round number 12. And for that, we're going to go ahead and chain 2, and we're going to half double crochet into the next 4 stitches. After that, we're going to half double crochet in two half double crochets into the next stitch, is what I'm trying to say. Just like so. Chain 2, and then 2 half double crochets into the next stitch. Okay, so that's what the corners are going to look like. And after that, we're going to half double crochet into each of the next 28 stitches all the way across the side. After working those 28 half double crochets all the way across, we're going to work another corner, and we're going to work 2 half double crochets in that next stitch, chain 2, and then 2 half double crochets in the next, and then we're back to 28 half double crochets all the way across. So that is your repeat for round number 12. On the repeat across the last round, you just need to crochet 23 half double crochets. After that, we are going to join with a slip stitch to the first stitch of the round, and we're going to fasten off so that we can change to color B. So go ahead and hide those 2 loose strands, and then we'll begin round number 13. Okay, for round number 3, we're going to be using the color B, and we can join to any corner around the square. So I'm going to go ahead and join to this corner. I'm going to chain 2, and we're going to work a half double crochet, and I'm going to work around that extra loop, or thread rather. Half double crochet, chain 2, and working again around this thread. 2 more half double crochets in that same corner space. just like this. Okay, after we do that, we're going to half double crochet in each of the next 8 stitches. So let's go ahead and get that first stitch. 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6, 7, and 8, and I'm going to go ahead and trim this little piece here. I've worked all my stitches so far around that. There we go. Get rid of that. So after we do that, we're going to front post double crochet around the next 3 stitches. So the next 3 stitches, now we've just worked in this one, so the next 3 stitches start over here. We're going to do front post double crochet in 3 stitches. 2, 3, like that. After those 3 front post double crochets, we're going to half double crochet in the next 3 stitches. Let's try that one again. There we go. 1, 2, 3. After those 3 half double crochets, we're going to front post double crochet around the next 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to half double crochet in the next 3 stitches. 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to front post double crochet around the next 3 stitches. 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to half double crochet in the next 8. Now when you go into these next stitches, make sure that you don't forget this stitch. Okay, so it's easy to get confused when you're working alternating working through the top loops and alternating that with the front post stitches. It's easy to skip stitches. So if your stitch count is not coming out correctly, it could be because you missed a stitch accidentally. So let's go ahead and see what we have here. So we've worked 8 half double crochets here. So this is the way we're going to work around for round number 13. And then after you do that, we're going to work the corner, which is 2 half double crochets, chain 2, and then 2 more half double crochets. So we're going to be repeating that all the way around. At the end of round 13, which is after that last repeat of those 8 half double crochets, we're going to join with a slip stitch to the top of that chain 2, and we're going to continue on using the same color. Go ahead and chain 2, half double crochet in that next stitch. Get the right loops. There we go. Half double crochet there. After that half double crochet, we're going to work 4 half double crochet in that chain 2 space. Let's go ahead and turn our square. After we do that, we're going to half double crochet in the next 10 stitches. So go ahead and start with the first stitch here that may be slightly hidden. So go ahead and do those next 10 half double crochets. After working those 10 half double crochets, we're going to work 3 back post double crochets, 1 over each of the next 3 stitches, and these should be the 3 front post double crochets that you worked the previous round. And after that, we're going to work 3 half double crochets, and then we're going to work 4 back post double crochets. And again, these are over those 4 front post double crochets from the previous round. Just giving it a little added texture there. And now half double crochet over the next 3 stitches. And then back post double crochet over the next 3 stitches. Again, these were the 3 front post double crochets from the previous round. After we do that, we're going to work half double crochets in each of the next 10 stitches, and this should bring us all the way to the corner. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And for the corners, we're going to work 2 half double crochets, chain 2, and 2 more half double crochets. And this is going to be your repeat all the way around the square. After completing those 10 half double crochets, then we're going to work 4 half double crochets in that chain 2 corner, just like so. And that is going to be your repeat all the way around the square. On the last repeat across the last side, you're going to have only 8 half double crochets because you're joining with the chain 2 and a half double crochet over here, and that makes up for those 2 differences. And go ahead and join with a slip stitch to the top of that round, and then we're going to go ahead and fasten off because we're going to go back to color number 1. So go ahead and let's take a look at the square at this point. And it is going to require some blocking, but that's not a problem. So go ahead and hide those 2 loose strands, and we will begin round number 15. To begin round 15, we're going to begin in the stitch before any of the corners. And I'm going to pick this one, and I'm going to work a slip knot. Just makes it easier to tie this in. We're going to chain 1. The chain does not count as a stitch, just to let you know. And we're going to work a single crochet. After completing this single crochet, we're going to work 7 long single crochets. This is just like what we worked back in this area here at the very beginning of this project. So I'm going to try to do these as neatly as I can. It's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, I can try to pull on these a little bit and try to get them situated. Okay, after we do that, we're going to skip this hidden stitch here, and we're going to single crochet in the next 35 stitches all the way across the side. After working those 35 single crochets all the way across, that brings us to the next corner, and we're going to work 7 long single crochets in that corner as well. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. I can play with that a little bit. There we go. And then after we do that, again, we're not working on that 5th one. We're going to skip that one. And starting here, we're going to work a single crochet in each of the next 35 stitches. So go ahead and work this all the way around. At the end of this round, we join with a slip stitch to the first stitch of the round, just like that. Go ahead, fasten off, and trim the color. Now this is what you should have at the end of 15 rounds. Now we have finished the design portion of the square, but now it's time to put on the last 3 rounds, and I'm going to go ahead and get my dark brown color so that I can begin those with you. Okay, I'm going to be using the base rounds for joining, or what I'm calling the finishing rounds, and we're going to be using set H for this Arizona design, and the instructions are to join in any corner. Since we don't have chain 2 corners, we're going to find the fourth of the 7 stitches in the corner here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to call this our corner, and we're going to go ahead and join with a chain 1. So let's go ahead and do that. Chain 1, which does not count as a stitch, and we're going to work a single crochet, chain 2, and a single crochet in that same space, just like that. Okay, after we do that, we are going to single crochet in each of the next 41 stitches across. And let's go ahead and start that. So go ahead and single crochet in each of the next 41 stitches. After crocheting those 41 stitches across, it does bring us to the right place, which is the 4th stitch of those long single crochets in the corner. And when we get there, we're going to do 1 single crochet, chain 2, and 1 single crochet, and just continue on with single crochet in the next 41 stitches all the way across. So that is going to be your repeat all the way across and around the square. At the end of the round, just join with a slip stitch to that first single crochet that helped to form the corner. And if you include the single crochets in all the corner stitches, you should have 43 stitches across each side, and you should have a chain 2 in each corner. Now I can fasten off and rejoin at the corner, but I'm going to go ahead and just slip stitch my way in to that chain 2 space so that I can begin round number 2. We're going to chain 1, and we're going to work a single crochet, chain 2, a single crochet in that chain 2 corner, and then we're going to work a single crochet in each of the 43 stitches all the way across to the next corner. And at the next corner, we're going to make another single crochet, chain 2, single crochet. So that is your repeat. So go ahead and do that all the way around. At the end of this round, we join with a slip stitch to that first single crochet of the round. You should have 45 single crochets across each side and a chain 2 in each corner. So we're going to go on to round number 3. I'm just going to slip stitch into that chain 2 corner since I'm keeping the same yarn, and chain 1. And this is going to be a little bit different. We're going to do 2 single crochets, chain 2, and then 2 single crochets in each corner. Now there's one other thing we're going to do differently. We're going to skip this first hidden stitch, and we are going to single crochet in each of the next 44 stitches all the way across until we get to the next corner. After crocheting in each single crochet all the way across, we're going to work 2 single crochets in that corner, chain 2, and 2 more single crochets. 1, 2. Now don't forget to skip this first single crochet, which is being called the hidden stitch. Okay, this is where these stitches are kind of covering it. You don't have to dig that one out. Go ahead and skip that one, and then we're going to single crochet again all the way across. And as you work around this round, you're going to have exactly 48 single crochets across each side, and you'll end up with 4 chain 2 corners. So go ahead and finish that round. At the end of the 3rd finishing round or base rounds, go ahead and join with a slip stitch. And I'm going to go ahead and give it a chain so I can fasten off. Well, this ends the Arizona Winter Evening Square by Kristin Pretzer Hartt. If you like this, we have many more different squares coming to you as part of the Friends Around the World Crochet Along. Just go ahead and hit that subscribe button in the upper corner and you won't miss any of them coming your way. And I have many other projects also planned in 2019 you're not going to want to miss. God bless. I wish you the very best